Okay guys, we have this really cute Christmas craft that I'm doing today. I found a gazillion Christmas crafts. I know it's not even Thanksgiving yet, but you know what? If you're doing gifts for people, usually this is when you start, or you've already started, because it can take a while to do the crafts. Hi Cody! So what I did is we're going to make something like this. This is just my example one I did before this, and then you trim it up pretty, put some trims on. So we're just show you. First I printed these up on the computer, so I'm just trimming around the edges. And I have Away in a Manger, O Come All Ye Faithful, Silent Night, and Hark the Herald Angels Sing. But you could do whichever, whatever ones you want. This just looks really nice and festive when it's done. And I'll show you the trims that I have. And after this, I'll post the picture and the link of where I found it on Pinterest. So it's a little bit small. It's smaller than a full page, the way it printed out for me, but it's fine. I just used one on the front and one on the back. And let me grab a jar. So I have my mason jar. You can use any size. And you also, let me just say too, I'm going to use it as like a candle. But what I'm going to do, you could like fill it with candy and maybe make a bigger, a bigger cutout to see through the glass to see that there's candy in there. That would be cute too. But I'm just going to show you how I decoupaged this. And there's different Mod Podges you can get. I'm using, because it's music paper, I want more of a matte look. So I'm using the matte Mod Podge. This is Gloss Luster. I believe they have do they have a satin finish too? I'm not positive, but if you mix the two together, I know you can get satin because I've done that before too. Okay. Hi Becky and Colleen. Hi. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I have a little Christmas tree that I cut out. I just folded the paper in half and made a Christmas tree shape, and then you get a nice symmetrical tree or whatever else you're making. You could do an angel. There's lots of different things you could do. A bell, reindeer. So I'm just gonna do that again, and it doesn't matter. I just folded it like this. You could fold it the other way with the notes, whichever way you want. It doesn't really matter that much. Where's my pencil? I'm just gonna trace this onto this one now. And I'm gonna want to trim more at the bottom. See how much extra, because it's taller than my, a little bit, taller. So I'm keeping that in mind when I place the Christmas tree stencil. Just so that you can get it about where you want it on the jar. And I think you could see what I'm doing. Just tracing the stencil onto the music paper. Sorry, I'm not speaking up. I'm just tracing the Christmas tree onto the music note paper. And now I'm just going to cut it out. And you're not going to see the fold. You don't have to fold it real tightly, but you're not going to see it once you decoupage it. So don't even worry about that. Cutting it out. And the reason I did the other one ahead of time is because it'll be all dry, so then I can decorate it with you. Otherwise, you'd have to imagine the decorations. Okay, so there we are. And I actually decided, I thought it looked kind of pretty. I don't know if you can see the glass design here, but I liked the fruit, how you could see the fruit design on there, so I just centered the tree over that. You know, it looks fine to do it where the measuring is too. It just depends on what look you want. Yeah, so maybe this time I'll do it on the side so it's different. And so I'm going to cut some off the bottom because I definitely need it to be shorter on the bottom. Don't worry if you lose any of the notes or anything. I mean, that's fine. There we go. That's good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the bottom. I'm going to cut some little darts so that you could get a pretty smooth fit to get it around because the bottom kind of tapers in a little bit. And then I'm also going to, let's see, how far does it? I mean, you got to remember you're going to need a little bit more room at the top than it looks like because it goes in and up, but still you're not going to need that much. So I'm probably going to trim about almost an inch off the top, close to that. And that should be about right. And if it doesn't cover all the way to the top, is okay. We're going to put ribbon there anyway, so it'll be good. Yeah, I think I said, is it, for some reason, is that Erica? Becky? It's like half there. I don't know why. It's bizarre. I can see Markwood. So whichever your first name is, hello. That's all I can see. Okay. And my brush is right here. So I'm just going to put this all over the paper. Can you see it back here? Just dip my brush in and just kind of, you want to put a decent amount on. So that it'll stick well, because you don't want any bubbles. You can always push, if you see any air bubbles in there, you can always push the air out. But if you are generous enough with the glue, that you're less likely to have them, and that because sometimes they can interfere with how it sticks. But if you have more glue on, it's easier to fix the air bubbles because then it'll stick right back down. Of course, you don't want globs either. Okay. There we go. So I'm just going to be putting it, I'm going to try to do it your way so you can see. I'm just going to be trying to center it right on there. And you're going to have to play with the bottom a little bit. So I'm just going to turn it around for a second too to make sure I get it on there good. Okay, that's pretty good. And I'm just going to start letting the bottom overlap a little bit. And you can use a little more, you may need a little bit more of this to get the paper to stick to the other part of the paper when you know, when they overlap, so they'll still stick. There we go. Just press out any air bubbles. I'm going to do that up here too. Just press out any air bubbles. And then keep going. And then I'm going to have to do some cutting at the top too. But I'm going to make sure I get the sides on now at least. You can always put more glue on if it's drying a little bit on you. Oops, I ripped it, but you know what, that's okay because Mod Podge is amazing. Yeah. So don't push quite so hard to get the air bubbles out. It will be fine though. And I'm not going to worry so much about at the top if it's, I mean, I want it to stick, but if there's some bubbles, because we're going to put some ribbon on, so. Need to get over here a little because I can see some of the glue dried and it's not sticking smoothly to the jar, so I'm going to fix that. Okay. I'm just going to get the top off now. And honestly, it's not too bad. I don't know how many cuts I'm going to need in it. I don't think that many. Just like darts on a dress to help fit the curves. Make sure I get over on the side over here too and on the bottom. And then I can decoupage the other side. Doing the same thing. Let's see. So I just went out and voted. Everybody voting? Doesn't matter who you're voting for, just get out there and vote. We all are allowed to have our opinions, and that's what's awesome about this country. So we may not agree, but we all need to get out there and vote. Okay, I took my son with me. I took my 8-year-old, almost 9-year-old son with me to vote, just so that he can look at the ballot and it won't seem, you know, kind of, I know the first time I did it, it felt intimidating, but it'll feel less intimidating. I feel like if he's been there, done it, you know, if he's gone with me and is like, it's old hat. So we talk about it. We talk about who's on the ballot and, you know, how you look at the columns and what's the right way to mark who you're voting for and all that good stuff. Just making the darts on the back too for the bottom. And I'm just going to put a couple, it's more the sides, not as much the front, because this mason jar bottle is flat, pretty flat on the front. Okay, so I'm just going to glue this up again like I did. And then you can also do the top of this as well after you get it on well this way. And it's funny too because it's really kind of stormy here. Well, it was raining a lot and it was blowing really hard, but the rain stopped. So it's just mostly been really windy. And it just made me think it was a dark and stormy night. You know, like the majorly cliche beginnings of a book. And it just seemed kind of appropriate, you know, with the political dissension and separation, and you know, in our country now. So it just seems sort of appropriate. But just get out there and vote. We are so lucky in America that we get to. I'm probably preaching to the choir, right? You guys are probably all going out and voting, but and this is going to be too tall. I didn't cut it enough, which is fine, so I'm just going to cut it as I go. Whoops. I just feel like, you know, no matter how adamantly you believe in who you're voting for, my thing is, like, because some people be like, oh my gosh, how can someone believe in that? How can somebody, whatever, you know, and it's like, well, you know what though? The thing is, we're all different people, and we've all had different experiences in life, and that's what shapes our opinions. So when you think about it, it's not that hard to believe people would have different opinions on that. And maybe if we had the life that they had, maybe we would feel the same way as they do. So, okay. That's what I teach my son too, and we tell him that, you know, we do not expect him to vote the same way that we are. He has his own brain. He has, you know, he can do his own research. The important thing is just to know why, you know, you like whoever you like, and so you can back it up. If someone's like, well, why do you like so-and-so? You just want to be able to back it up. That's all. Almost done. All right, so now I'm just going to put a coat on the outside, and what I did is, oh yeah, and I made sure I got in here good too. Like, if any edges are lifting, you definitely want to make sure that's glued on, and then you can just wipe off the excess glue. You can always clean that off. But I'm also going to make sure I get in there and try not to actually paint the glass too much. You can, you know, I'll go in and clean up the edges, but I don't want to like just slab it all over the whole thing. So these are all down pretty good. That is not actually an air bubble. There's actually a, you know, a line there in the glass. That's fine. Okay, and that one, nope, that is down nice. So, okay, and then I'm just gonna around the edges, and then I can just kind of slather it all over. Okay. Almost done, and then we can decorate. Alright, I'm just going to let that one dry while we have fun with the one that's already dry. Oh, and my sweet husband got me my martini. Yeah, I'm having it in a Shrek glass. Okay, so letting that one dry. So now I've got this one that's already dry. I've got this really pretty ribbon. Now this is the bendable kind. You don't have to use that. Whatever, you know, whatever you want. I do want to make a bow, so I'm going to need it long enough to do that. I usually way overestimate, but I want the bow to kind of, I gotta have it go around, and then I want to go up. So I think at least this much. And you know what, I might as well use my material scissors. My family is really nice about that. They know, do not use mommy's material scissors, period. Pretend you don't see them. They're not there because you don't use them for anything but material. Okay. And I have these cute little like holly things too, so I'm going to put one of those on each of these. And so I'm going to tie it toward the front. I am, I don't know, am I gonna? No, I think I won't double knot it. All right, so let's see if I can do this. And you can use a much smaller, you know, ribbon than this. You don't have to use something this big and bulky. But I just thought it would look pretty. And it's what I had on hand. Oh, pretty, pretty, pretty. Okay, so I'm just fooling with it now, and I like that you can bend this stuff. I mean, it's really kind of pretty. How cute is that? Now you could always snip them if you don't want them to be quite that long. And I may do that once I put the little holly things on. Aww. I don't know if you guys probably can't hear that blowing. It is really blowing here. So Silent Night. I mean, I think if that's sitting on a table, the long bow might look nice. So I think I'm just going to leave that for now until I get my display up. And then if it looks kind of crazy, I'll just trim it. So I have these. They're flickering battery candles, just because we have a dog and a, you know, younger-ish kid. He's turning 9. But they run and chase each other, so, you know, just to be on the safe side. Not that I never burn candles, but I don't have to worry. Whoop, didn't get that in. Didn't get it in flat. Come here. No, okay. I need something to lower that in, because it's not going in flat. Let me see how I could do this. Oh, there we go. There we go. So you want to put it in like standing up, and then tilt it and let it slide right down to the bottom, and it'll stay how you want it, so it gets to the bottom nicely. So that's one way to do it. I might even put to lift it up a little bit higher too. I don't know how high you want it though, because you want to see. Isn't that pretty? Because you want to see the flickering, but you don't necessarily want to see the flame. But you could put something in the bottom of it. I was thinking about maybe, I have little glass beads, but maybe that would be glass on glass. You can do that, but I don't know. But there you go. So, very pretty little Christmas decoration. I will post pictures of them. I also saw gorgeous, gorgeous ones of these where you paint them. And you could, the other thing they did too is I think they put Md Podge on and rolled them in the fake snow, and then put a red bow on them. And then they did like a white one, a red one, a green one, a red one, a white one, a red one, a green one, something like that, or like just one of each, and put it in a little wooden tray that they painted. And on the front of the smaller one that just had one of each of the Christmas colors, it said Joy or Noel. And then on the bigger one, it said Winter Wonderland. And I think another one said Merry and Bright. So those are gorgeous. And then they had like the fake, you know, the silk Christmas flower? What am I thinking? Poinsettia. You know, coming out the top, or like green boughs and some holly or something. There were a couple different ones, but oh my gosh, they were gorgeous. I want to do those too. So, I mean, I don't need to demo those though. We've done something similar like that in the past, but I will post the pictures of those too in case anybody wants to copy them. They're very easy, but they look gorgeous. Okay, thanks for tuning in. Oh, my eyes are so bad. Macelia? Macelsi? I can't. My eyes are terrible. I don't have my readers, you guys. I'm getting old. Okay, so sorry. I know I butchered your name. I'm sorry. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, let me see. Oh, okay, I think that's okay. Okay, so thanks guys for tuning in, and I'll have another craft for you next week. Bye.
Okay, Max.
Yay.
Did you finish your snap?
Or maybe not. This doesn't always like to finish on me.
It's 8:30. It's time for bed.